To regular viewers, please rest assured I have not entered the Fastnet race in a Shrimper 19. Maybe next time. No, we're here as usual as shore crew and supporters for friends and family who are competing. And this year we have 4 boats to follow and look after, as well as a host of friends in the other yachts. Our plan is to watch the start on the water, follow them up the Solents, perhaps as far as the Needles, wave them off, then come back, hop on a ferry over to Cherbourg and get ready for them when they come in. The race starts in Cowes, goes down the channel, past the Scillies and up to Fastnet Rock on the southwest of Ireland, back down round the Scillies, back up the channel and into Cherbourg. Finishes at Cherbourg. The race is 700 miles long, although most competitors will sail considerably more than that. Our first boat is Griffin. This is the Royal Ocean Racing Club's youth development programme, and they're sailing a Sunfast 3600. Our second boat is also a Sunfast 3600, owned by Nick, and here co-skippered with Jim. Jim is chairman of the Griffen Project, and the girls in the previous boat are very keen to beat him. Our third boat is Zephyr, a Sunfast 3300. We're interested in this because we have Ollie on board, a member of the crew. And finally, we're supporting Girafon. She's a quite impressive Figaro 3, sailed by Ellie and David. Now, breaking into offshore yacht racing is not that easy. In fact, the barriers are not just financial. The Royal Ocean Racing Club realised that it had to develop young talented sailors to take the sport to the next level. So the Griffen Project was formed and Jim Driver put in charge. And today this 7-girl crew will start the Fastnet for the first time. We check in on Zephyr, but Ollie's nowhere to be seen. Our ride for the day is Moshi, an island rib, very rapid, very professional boat. Checking in on Ellie and David. It's a few minutes before they dock out, so of course Ellie's gone up the mast. Not quite sure what she's doing up there. I suspect it's just her way of not having to talk to people before a big race. The Fastnet is the most prestigious offshore race in the world and attracts all of the big names. This is a very famous boat from New Zealand. And we're off to Cowes for the start. David and Ellie are first to dock out. That Figaro 3 is quite eye-catching. Ellie is supporting the Women's Engineering Society. Rather fitting, as she's a graduate engineer herself. David is an experienced offshore racer and all-round nice guy. And this is Ellie's third Fastnet. She is a determined young lady and has great ambitions for racing the world's oceans. We catch up with Griffin on the way to the start line. They've been racing together and training all season, and there's an air of nervous excitement on board. Hugh is on board as a coach. Poor bloke. But it's nearly an hour to their start, so we're going to whiz off up ahead to watch the big multi-hulls. They've just started and they are fantastic to watch. There are numerous starts to the race, and basically the fastest boats go off first. And these are the fastest boats. For most yachts, it's a 4 to 5 day ordeal. For these guys, it's a day and a half. They've probably just got sandwiches on board. This is my favourite, Lazartigue. And spoilers, she won the whole thing. Next off are the Mockers, Again, these boats are built for blasting around the southern oceans, and this is a short hop for them, a sprint race. But this is the Fastnet. It's the World Cup of offshore racing. And there are 444 boats entered this year. This is Pip Hare in Be Water Positive, inspirational female solo British sailor and hero of a young Ellie driver. Next off are the big professionally crewed yachts. This is Scillies, very famous yacht. And eventually the IRC1 handicap starts. This is the one where Ellie and David are in. There are some big fast yachts in this start, and Ellie and David will be one of the, if not the smallest boat on the start line. There they are, purple and green sail, dwarfed by the larger boats, but there because their handicap is really quite low. The Figaro is a one design yacht. It's meant to be sailed against each other, really, and they don't get any favours in this sort of handicap type race. The start line of a big race like this is a scary place to be. Just look at the crew of this yacht approaching us as they all work together to negotiate a path through. Ellie and David get a good clean start and can concentrate on getting the boat west and moving fast, whilst we wait for the other three boats who are starting IRC 3. The IRC 3 class have started and we can't see any of our boats, but hang on, there's Griffin. Really good start on the cow's side. She's popped out easily in the top third of boats and seems to be going on really quite nicely. Well done, girls. Over 400 candidates for the Griffen Project this year. All talented sailors in their own right, they were narrowed down by a selection committee and some were invited for a selection weekend. And eventually 24 were selected for events across the season, including 2 teams sailing this boat, Griffen, across a full RORC season, whilst these 7 girls were chosen to start the Fastnet. This is the culmination of an immense amount of work by the girls themselves, by Hugh, their coach, and of course by Jim and the team at RORC Griffen Project. Speaking of Jim, we haven't been able to find him. And eventually we did. Turns out we were looking in the wrong place. The 2 veterans, the 2 old men of the race, in Diablo, have got a bit of a flyer, and they're actually leading the entire IRC3 fleet out of the Solent. Go guys, look at that. Nobody knows how many times Jim's done this race. Every time you ask him it's a different answer, but at least it's double figures at least. Could this be the year he wins it? Well, stay tuned to find out. We eventually find Zephyr. She's had a pretty good start as well. It's doing really well, working her way west down the Solent. One last wave to Griffin and Diablo. Ellie and David are already at the Needles, and we decided it's about time we went into Lymington for a drink. And we leave the teams just a few hours into their 4.5-day gruelling odyssey as they head west down the Channel. One of the first tactical decisions is how to deal with the adverse tide going around Portland Bill. The approved way of doing it is to go ridiculously close to the rocks on the end of Portland Bill. Difficult to do if there's lots of boats there. Ellie does a little pirouette and gets it through on the second go. Griffin and Zephyr get through cleanly, and Jim and Nick just go offshore and avoid all of that nonsense. Meanwhile, we get on a bigger boat and hop over to the race village in Cherbourg, where the multi-hulls have already arrived, way before us. And the marina has been cleared out for the 400 plus boats that are going to start arriving in the next couple of days. The big professional monohulls are also already there, ordering beer and mool and enjoying the sunshine, trying out those sails and doing a bit of PR. Pip Hare had to retire with hydraulic problems, but she's come straight here anyway. Meanwhile, back in the Channel, our crews are battling west through the night. The next big tactical decision is the Scillies. The yellow hashed areas are traffic separation schemes and no-go areas. The boats can't enter them. The girls in Griffin follow the conventional route and head north of the Scillies, tack between the traffic separation scheme and the islands. Ellie and David follow them, as do the veterans Nick and Jim. But Zephyr here, Ollie and Zephyr, have got a different idea. They go south of the Scillies and south of the traffic separation scheme to the west of the Scillies. They're banking on the wind backing, the wind going west, and hoping for massive gains going that far left. If you look at the track of their tack as they head north towards the rock, you'll see it paid off. They go past everybody. They're well in the lead now of R4. So time for an update on board with Ellie.
So we're currently sailing up the Irish Sea towards the Fastnet Rock. It's been a tough little couple of days. Mixture of some tidal gates, which we're a little bit late for. A couple of broken things on the boat that we've had to repair. Then a bit of a one of two options to try and get back into the race, which didn't really pay off as much as we had hoped, so which put us a bit further back, unfortunately, on the other figures. We have managed to climb back, I think half of the distance though, that we had lost, so we're slowly gaining back on them. It's a little bit tricky sailing a one design boat in an IRC fleet. The boat is actually relatively short for its rating,
So our guys get to the Fastnet Rock in the early hours of the morning. Zephyr's round first, followed by Ellie and David and the girls in Griffin, who can then get the big kite up and concentrate on getting the boat moving fast downwind. Diablo goes around the rock in daylight. Nick and Jim are a couple of hours behind, but have the pleasure of seeing the rock in not brilliant weather, but at least in daylight. Later on they try and claim that they did this on purpose. Meanwhile, Zephyr's still in the lead, blasting south. She has a keel cam, a camera on the keel to look for weed. No weed today, but they do have a visitor hitching a free ride. Ollie's doing a great job on Zephyr. He did the transatlantic race with Ellie in the Figaro earlier on this year. Meanwhile, Ellie and David are desperate to catch them up. They've got their own dolphins and are moving incredibly fast down towards the Scillies. We track all four teams throughout the night as they round the Scillies and blast down the channel. Ellie and David finish first, followed very closely by Zephyr, who's done extremely well. They cross the finishing line at about 12:30 that night. And Ellie's very happy because she's beaten on the water at least one of the other Figaros.
Sorry,
Then at 3:30 in the morning, the Griffin team finish. The girls came in 28th out of their class of 88, which is very competitive for rookies. In fact, they came in 111th out of the 444 overall. Really well done. It's a fantastic achievement. What they really needed was a beer, but they had to do a press conference first.
Weather got better as we got closer to Cherbourg, so spirits were kind of lifted, and yeah, we're delighted to have made it the whole way, and really proud of ourselves and everything that we've done this year as a team and how far we've progressed. So delighted and very grateful to RORC for this opportunity.
Any low points? Were there any low points?
And then we got there and it was the middle of the night, pissing rain, and the zero had to go up, and we were so it was a bit of a low moment, but yeah, when the sun rose the next morning and we were going downwind, spirits were definitely lifted again. So yeah, delighted.
And obviously you are a crack team put together by the RORC Griffen Project. What would you say to potential younger spirits that are considering the RORC Griffen program?
Yeah, well, I think I probably speak on behalf of everybody saying that, would really recommend the program. It's an unreal opportunity that we've had this year. We've been able to make the most of it, and I'm delighted to have that. So anybody who's in any way thinking about doing it, I highly recommend that they go ahead, put in an application and see how it goes for them.
Thank you very much. Well done. Bar is open.
And the bar stayed open. Well, for about 3 days really, but what goes on in the bar stays in the bar. But hang on, where's Diablo? Where's Jim and Nick? Well, dawn the next day, down below finishes with another 3 boats, and they're all very, very pleased to see Jim Driver get off the boat and greet the Griffin team. I think the high point of the entire 4.5 days was beating Jim on the water. Well done, girls. So that's the race over. If you want to know more about the Griffin Project or get involved yourself, there's a link in the description. And if you feel that your brands align with those of Ellie Driver and you think she could help share your message, again, details are in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm off to bed.